So there's a decent amount of beef tallow in their scraps this morning. I figure that's a good way for me to make up for what happened yesterday. I really don't like what happened last night with the chickens. I was out all day and the door had shut on their tractor from the wind and they were stuck out in the rain for a while. So when I got home last night, they were soaked and then it was time to put them up. So they went to bed cold and wet. I'm gonna go let them out of the tractor and get them breakfast and check on them. How was everybody this morning? You sure did look better than you did last night. I found that when their feed bowls start accumulating rainwater, they stop eating out of them. Their feed just turns to absolute mush. If I dump it quick enough before it goes to mush, they'll still eat some of it, but once it goes to mush and there's standing water in there, they won't touch it. The consequence for them being stuck out in the rain was also that we didn't get any eggs yesterday afternoon or this morning. I don't like the pressure that puts on this. There's not a lot of strength in these staples holding the hardware cloth on. I'm gonna cut that and try to wrap around this 2x2 here. It has started raining again outside, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to cure some bacon. Of course, that's not what this video is going to be about. This is pork belly. I'm going to use this high-quality pastured pork that I got from a local farmer, feeding a non-GMO diet, and actually most of its diet came out foraging in the woods. Anyway, I'm going to cure this into our own bacon at home. When we started curing bacon at home for the same reasons we started making our sausage at home. When we were buying our bacon from farmers at farmers markets, we were finding that the butcher was adding in lots of ingredients that we don't eat. High fructose corn syrup and nitrites and all that kind of stuff, and we don't want that in our meat. We took to curing our own pork belly to make our own bacon at home, and we've had fantastic results with that. But what I'm going to make right now is a pork belly roast from part of this pork belly. The rest is going to be for bacon. What I found is these pork bellies are so big that they don't even fit in 2 of these roasting dishes. So what I'm doing is I trim the excess off and roast it as a awesome lunch. So I'm going to just start off by cutting this down the middle here. As you can see, it's pretty big. It's probably about 10 pounds of pork belly right here. And it came folded over like that, frozen, and I thought it was completely thawed, and you probably noticed there's a little bit of ice crystal still on the inside. Since it was folded over, it just had not completely thawed out. So we'll get this out of the way. And now we're gonna take this cut this down, and so it's gonna fit in my smaller roasting dish. To get a really awesome product, it's best to obviously raise your own pork. Do a scald and scrape method of processing the pork instead of what most butchers do nowadays, which is they skin it and you lose all the back fat. And in this case, I don't have any skin on the pork belly. If you can get a pork belly that still has the actual skin on it, you get this amazing crust when you make this roast. I don't have that. This is just the fat layer, but this is still going to be an amazing dish. It's just not going to be as good as it could be. That's just the way it goes these days with getting stuff from the butcher. So I'm just cleaning this up just a little bit. After getting your pork belly all situated, what you want to do is make a trivet in your roasting dish. And I'm using, this is a natural trivet made out of celery and carrots. Of course, they make little racks for this sort of thing, but this way you actually are roasting a side dish with it. So 2 birds, 1 stone. So we're gonna just square off these carrots here. So we have our trivet in place. We got our pork belly started off. The next thing we want to do is we want to score the top of it right into the fat. We don't want to be cutting down into the actual pork, just the fat of it. And we're going to just go across the top, score it just like this. The reason why we score it is we're going to apply seasoning to this. We're going to apply salt, sage, and cracked pepper, and that helps the seasoning get into the pork better rather than trying to penetrate through this thick fat layer. The salt, once it works in, is going to draw more of the moisture out of this fat and give it a more crispy, crunchy texture that we're looking for. So we have it scored one way, and I'm just going to score it the other way here. I'm going to apply a good layer of salt on here, give it a little rub, work it in. By all means, if you have fresh sage, chop some fresh sage leaves up and use that. I don't have any because I wasn't exactly planning on making this today. It's just how it worked out with the rain and all that. I just have some dried powdered sage I'm putting on there. But please, by all means, use fresh if you can. And I'm going to just crack a little black peppercorn on there, finish it off. I started making this dish because I had this leftover piece that I would cut off from the pork belly that we were curing for bacon. This was just like this leftover little piece, and I wasn't really quite sure what to do with it. Then I started making like this after I found this great recipe on the Scott Ree Project. Is a master butcher over in England who also does a lot of cookery on his channel. I saw what he was doing with his pork belly roast, and I started doing it, and here it is. So I'm just gonna get this on over into our roasting dish. This is going to go into the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. That gives it the high heat it needs to get going, and then we're going to pull it out, reassess, lower the temp, and put it in some more. But we're going to start off 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I just pulled this out of the oven so you can get an idea what it looks like. I'm going to reduce the temperature on the oven now to 325 and put it in for about 45 minutes. Here it is after another 45 minutes. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more color here on the top, a little bit darker. This is the first time I've tried to make this with this oven, and it definitely acts a little bit differently than my last oven. And it is lunchtime and we're hungry, so we're just going to go for it like it is. Just look at that right there. Just look how juicy that is. Just get a little squeeze. Oh, that juice is running out. This is awesome. It goes great with sauerkraut and, of course, some mustard. Little buddy is not a huge fan of the sauerkraut. He asked for broccoli, so I gave him some broccoli. You like it? Good. Little buddy and I have some little fatty scraps left over from the pork belly from lunch that we are going to give to the chickens. Using this to hopefully try and convince them to start laying some eggs again for us. Alright guys, you ready? This is a nice treat.
The chickens like it. Well, wait for chickens.
What do you think, little buddy?
I like watching them moving.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
They're like dinosaurs eating it, right?
Yes, they're like like eating dinosaurs. Like eating fat dinosaurs.
Oh.
Daddy, your forward spitting that out.
Oh, there they are down there again. Well, at least they gave us some eggs today. I really didn't think we were gonna get any. You like this one?
Yes, I do. Oh, there's another one.
What are you doing on that hay?
Sitting on it. Because I want to.
You want to?
Because I like the hay seeds.
Get some hay with me to feed the boys?
Well, but can I have a square? I'll be careful.
A square? The whole flake?
A whole flag, yes. Daddy, because I'm strong. I'm using my string.
Just hold your arms out like that when I hand it to you, okay?
I use my arms out like this. See, that makes my string go in my muscles.
Your muscles? Let's feel your muscles. Ooh, yeah.
That's my string and my muscles.
You are. Okay, so go ahead and stand up. Hold your arms out like this. You want to wear my gloves?
Sure, I love to wear them.
Yeah, this one. Here you go. Okay. Hold your arms out. Hold it out. There you go. Can you break it up a little bit? Since it's starting to rain again, we'll put it in the shelter.
They're wet.
They're wet?
Yeah. Well, we can soak up some hugs.
What are you doing?
Coon hay.
You're chewing hay?
Mm-hmm.